Hello and welcome to Pagile, Agile Coach. My name is Stephen J. Pagano. I'm an Agile Coach and Delivery Manager, and I want to help you to improve your agility. Because I tell you what, brothers and sisters, Agile is easy. So I was originally going to call this show Agile Requirements and Iterative Development. And then I thought, Mr. P, that is a terrible title. So instead, I've decided to call it an epic journey. Shall we begin? So in the last show, we talked about how Agile is all about taking something big and breaking it down. And that's exactly what we do with our requirements. We take something big and we break it down into ever smaller pieces until we get to a point where we can deliver those pieces confidently and we can add value every time we deliver. There are various different names and ways that you can do this, but for today's show, I'm going to concentrate on the big three, and they are epic, feature, and user story. Now, user story is also known as PBI, which is a product backlog item. But for today's show, we're just going to call it user story, okay? Think of the epic as a grandparent, the feature as a parent, and the user story as a child. You should be able to track the lineage of a user story through its parent feature and again to its grandparent epic, so you always know what you're delivering and why. Once all the user stories are done, you can say the feature is done. And once all the features are done, well, you can say the epic's done. You see, that's how it works. I told you, Agile is easy. But how do we write epics and features and user stories? An epic is a very large, coarse-grained story. It's got a whole bunch of high-level detail in there and usually takes months to deliver. Now, I've seen epics that have gone on for years. Not that that's best practice. When we describe our epics and features and stories, we tend to use the following phrase. As a somebody, I want something so that I can achieve some goal. So if I was going to write an epic for my Pagile Agile Coach videos, I might write, as an Agile Coach, I want a series of easy to understand presentations so that I can help people better understand agility in software development. You see, it's that easy. If I can do it, you can do it. I told you, Agile is easy. And underneath this epic, you should find a bunch of high-level detail describing exactly what we're trying to deliver. But what about features? Well, features will follow the same kind of pattern as epic. They're still large, coarse-grained stories, but not as large as epics. They're measured in weeks of effort rather than months or even years, but let's not go there. And also, they're maintained as a backlog, and epics are too, to be honest. And again, there's some high-level detail there, but it's slightly lower level than we had before. Remember, this is a child, so it deals with a chunk of the epic, not all of the epic. Our final work item type is user story. Brothers and sisters, this is where the action is. These are the work item types that actually get worked on by the development teams. They're small, they're accurately described, they must fit into between 1 and 5 days, ideally, and they are the most accurately estimated. Estimated, you say? Don't worry about that. We'll get onto that in another show. But how do we know if we've been successful? How do we know if we're done? Well, we use something called acceptance criteria. Quite simply, acceptance criteria form part of the description of our story. There are quite a few ways that you can write them, but I'm going to concentrate on the classic version, which is questions that have an answer of yes. So if I was going to do this for my Pagile Agile Coach videos, it might look a bit like this. So we have our description that we already know. As an Agile Coach, I want a series of easy to understand presentations so that I can help people better understand agility in software development. Here are my ACs, my acceptance criteria. Are the presentations easily accessible on the internet? Do the presentations use everyday language which is easily understood? Are the presentations short and snappy, bite-sized? Do the presentations use a minimum of printed words to avoid death by PowerPoint? Other slideshow software is available, by the way. And are the audience informed who has created the presentations and why? Now, if I'm going back to this, I should be able to look at this list of questions and answer yes to every one. And if I have, then I've finished my story. It's that simple. So we've broken our epic down into features and stories. One by one, we deliver our stories until the whole picture is complete. And that, my friends, is Agile. Well, that's the end of the show. Thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate it. And I had some good feedback from the last one. And that is, apparently I'm supposed to say, if you like this, do click like and subscribe. So please do click like and subscribe. But for now, my name's Stephen J. Pagano. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.